Right now, the city's ongoing battle with Mother Nature trying to keep up with deteriorating road conditions.
And new video of the deadly 131-car pileup in the Fox Valley. Officer body camera video shows the immediate response.
Plus, what's next for the Madison School District after the board approved the use of random metal detector screenings?
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll have those stories in just a bit. First, we are keeping an eye on the weather.
Expect on and off snow the next few days. Nothing heavy, but certainly consistent. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield now with our first alert forecast. Dave?
Eric and Charlotte, we just had a winter weather advisory issued for southern Wisconsin. All of southern Wisconsin now included in that advisory because some freezing drizzle, we expected this to happen, is now mixing in with that light snow. It's very, very light, but it really doesn't take that much when we talk about freezing drizzle to cause problems until noon on Wednesday is when that advisory goes for southern Wisconsin. Live look in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam. You can see just over the last hour what has happened to our tower cam. That very light freezing drizzle, freezing mist almost in some spots is showing up, and that could make things slick on the roadways into the Wednesday morning commute. Temperatures are plenty cold. That's not the problem. We have some warmer air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere moving through, and that is helping that snow melt and then refreeze right before it hits the surface, thus the freezing drizzle and freezing rain. Wind chills, it feels like below 0 in Madison, feels like 2 above in Boscobel. So here is as we head into the next couple of hours, we'll experience the freezing drizzle and freezing rain, also some light snow. Then we have a couple more chances for some light snow coming up. I'll have more on that in your News 3 Now First Alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, David. As he mentioned tonight, snow may impact your morning commute. Traffic moving along pretty smoothly there. Todd driving the Beltline, a little mist, a freezing mist on the windshield for those drivers, but be sure to take it slow in the morning. And we'll have an update on News 3 this morning as well. As if you didn't know, we are well into pothole season. The bitterly cold and snowy winter has wreaked havoc on our roads.
Severe pothole problems led to an emergency shutdown of the interstate earlier this month. Our Keely Arthur joins us live to share how Madison Streets crews are making those repairs. Keely?
Well, snow, salt, ice, cracks in the pavement, and lots of potholes. That is what you are seeing here on Raymond Road, and drive just about anywhere in the city of Madison, and you're going to have a pretty bumpy ride.
I think people are frustrated with the roads.
February is normally a quiet month.
When you hit a pothole, there'll be an impact.
For Ted Manning, owner of Monona Tire. But with bumpy, pothole-ridden roads, business keeps rolling in.
On certain roads, it seems a lot more noticeable this year than, say, last year, but it's been also a lot colder and a lot colder for an extended period of time.
There definitely are a lot of potholes out there. It's difficult for us to compare one year to the next because we don't really keep track of the number of potholes that we fill.
The city does, however, keep track of the amount of materials used. In 2018, from January 1st to February 25th, the city used 81.1 tons of cold mix to patch holes. In the same time frame this year, they've used 46.15 tons.
That only really shows how often we've been able to go out to fill them, not so much the number of them that are out there.
Brian Johnson of the Madison Streets Division says it's been an extremely wet and snowy winter, and because of that, crews haven't been able to make repairs as quickly as they'd like, especially as the same men and women filling potholes have to divert back to things like salting roads, snow removal, and plowing.
And there's that phrase where how do you eat an elephant? A bite at a time. We're eating this winter a bite at a time.
And if you hit a pothole, it could take a bite out of your bank account.
It can be $200, $300, sometimes $1,000 to repair.
So drive slowly to avoid damage, and if you do take a hit, check your wheels and consider having your alignment looked at.
You'll notice a bulge on the side.
Tips Manning says to keep in mind as the winter drags on.
Seems like we've got a little ways to go.
Now, if you do have a pothole on your commute that you'd like to report, the City of Madison has a report a problem page on its website. We'll have a link up on channel3000.com for that. And if you do see crews filling potholes, please get into the far lane. Give the crews some space. If you think you're having a tough winter, think about our street crews. Back to you.
That's the truth. Keely Arthur live tonight. Keely, thank you.
We are hearing some of the 911 calls tonight from that massive 131-car pileup near Neenah Sunday on Interstate 41. One person was killed, 71 others were injured.
Ma'am. You're going to have to close the whole highway down. Injured at all, ma'am? I'm not getting out of my car right now because I'm afraid I'm going to get hit.
Make sure you keep your seatbelt on, flip your hazard lights on as well.
They are. The entire highway is blocked right now.
And this dash cam video from a driver involved shows the near whiteout conditions just before the moment of impact. Between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Sunday, Winnebago County dispatchers took more than 740 calls. They say a normal 8-hour period is normally about 200. We're also getting a look at new officer-worn body camera video tonight showing the immediate response to that crash. You can see the Winnebago County deputy arrive and get out of her car and then run into the crash scene. The video shows the officers then climbing over the vehicles as they try to reach some of the individuals who were injured. Investigators still have a process to process a massive amount of squad camera footage, body camera footage, phone calls, and photos from the crash.
A woman on a family vacation in the Dells says she found used hypodermic needles in her hotel room wall. Police are now trying to figure out where they came from. She says when her boyfriend went to pull from the toilet paper roll in the bathroom at the Polynesian Water Park Resort, the entire holder came out of the wall. Inside, she saw about 20 syringes with needles. Wisconsin Dells police say it looked like the syringes were used. Hotel management is giving police rental records for that room as the investigation continues. A decades-old cold case in Rock County is one step closer to being solved. The remains of the man known as John Clinton Doe were found in 1995 in Bradford Township. Since then, law enforcement officials have not been able to identify him, but a breakthrough with a private DNA company could lead to that changing soon. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says they won't comment on the issue, at least for now, while they work to confirm those results. The 22-year-old Madison man who's accused of brutally attacking a woman earlier this month is headed to trial. Jerome Winslow in Dane County Court today for a preliminary hearing, which he waived. He is facing 5 felony charges in connection with the early morning attack February 3rd that seriously injured a 19-year-old UW student. Winslow was arrested days after that attack. Police say they tracked him down with the help of surveillance video. If your kids go to high school in the Madison district, expect them to be searched for the metal detector wand by the end of this school year. This is part of a policy change last night at the school board meeting. Amy Reed was there and she joins us now to show us how this will work at your kid's school.
Last night, this policy was wildly unpopular. At least 45 speakers got up during public comment to say it's moves like this one that make students of color feel unsafe at school. But the district insists they have the support for this, and that started back when they first tested this out. Back in September, after a shooting near La Follette High School, the district got serious about searching students for weapons. The next day, implementing a metal detecting wand to check every student wanting to get inside. And since then, the new policy making this a regular tool for the district became the goal.
Right here, this is what was added new. Number 4, use of metal detectors.
Last night, that goal became a reality, and Joe Ballas, the safety and security coordinator for the district, walked me through the changes. The policy change adds a section to the investigation, interrogation, arrest, and search code that allows the use of metal detectors to search students. Ballas said the district will use that in 2 circumstances. One, like the La Follette shooting, where there was a threat in the community they worry could affect students. And 2, to set up random screenings before school at the district's 6 high schools. Those would be for every student, but would be on random days that only the school and the district would know about. Students hoping to get into the school that day would have no choice but to abide by the screenings or go to the principal's office. Ballas said since they did this at La Follette, they've had lots of support from the Booster Club, but he still said it's an unfortunate change.
It's a sad reality. It is, you know, I mean, but we have to acknowledge and accept the gun violence and the culture of gun violence that we live in.
At last night's school board meeting, this idea drew sharp criticism from parents and students who said these security and pro-policing policies unfairly hurt students of color. Some had firsthand experience from other districts.
Every day we went through the metal detectors. Every day we felt like prisoners. And out of all the checks, who do you think got checked the most? Or who do you think got checked the most? Black students were the targets of metal detectors.
Bala said these searches won't happen every day, but he said they will start before the end of the school year at every high school.
If we did not take steps to take and try to deter such inside the schools, we would be remiss in our jobs.
The money for these metal detecting wands is already accounted for. It's going to be pulled from Ballas's budget in safety and security. Each wand is about $230, and with the 12 wands the district wants, this should end up costing about $1,200.
Amy, thank you. No charges are being filed tonight after a teenager was hit by a car this afternoon in Sun Prairie. It happened just after 3:30 on East Main Street near East Linnerud Drive. Investigators say a 15-year-old boy was crossing the road when the car hit him. The driver stayed on the scene and was cooperative. The teen was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Class will be held as planned tomorrow after a threat was found today at the alternative high school in Sun Prairie. Police say a note was found in the school bathroom at about 8:20 a.m. at Prairie Phoenix Academy on South Street. The school was evacuated. Students and staff were taken to Cardinal Heights Middle School while officers investigated. Several departments searched the school with K-9 officers, but nothing suspicious was found.
Crews in La Crosse are still working to get a train back on the tracks tonight after it derailed off the snow-covered tracks about 2 a.m. on the city's south side. The train company, BNSF, confirmed the locomotive came off the tracks but did manage to remain upright. A train on New York's Long Island hit a truck on the tracks tonight, killing 3 people. This accident happened about 7:30 this evening in Westbury. The victims were in a vehicle that apparently tried to run the crossing gates. No one was hurt on board the train. And an Amtrak train stuck on the tracks in Oregon for more than 36 hours finally arrived in Eugene today. 183 passengers on board as it traveled from Seattle to L.A. It hit a tree Sunday night that had fallen out of the tracks. Amtrak said it kept passengers on the train in the interest of safety because electricity was out nearby. Roads were blocked. The area was covered more than a foot of snow.
Still ahead tonight, a preview of tomorrow's highly anticipated second summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un.
Plus, the House passes a resolution challenging the president's national emergency declaration. A Wisconsin representative among the Republicans in support. That's the story next. United Auto Workers Union is now suing General Motors, claiming the company's plan to shut down 3 auto plants violates the union's labor contract. The lawsuit, filed today in Ohio, asks the court to order GM to reverse its decision to close the plants in Baltimore, Ohio, and Michigan. It also seeks damages for affected employees, including back wages and benefits. The second U.S.-North Korea summit gets underway in Hanoi in a few hours.
President Trump will sit down with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on Wednesday night. But first, Mr. Trump will meet with Vietnam's president and prime minister. The president is now in Vietnam for the next 2 days. Earlier, Vietnam welcomed North Korea's ruler. Kim arrived by train after a 60-hour rail journey from Pyongyang. The two leaders will meet face-to-face on Wednesday night, followed by a working dinner. More meetings are expected Thursday. The House of Representatives has voted to block President Trump's emergency declaration for the southern border. Democrats pushed the measure through the chamber by 245 to 182, with 13 Republicans joining them, one of which is Wisconsin Representative Jim Sensenbrenner. It will now be taken up by the Republican-led Senate, which it may pass next week. At least 4 Republican senators may back the resolution. The president says if it does pass the Senate, he will still veto it.
Today marked the first of 3 days of testimony for President Trump's former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen. He was on Capitol Hill in a closed Senate session today, but tomorrow's the biggest day for him when he'll testify publicly in front of a House committee. A source confirms to CBS News that Cohen plans to publicly accuse the president of criminal conduct. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said in a statement, quote, "It is laughable that anyone would take a convicted liar like Cohen at his word, and pathetic to see him given yet another opportunity to spread his lies."
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joins us now with a look at our forecast, and it seems like this winter's just never going to end.
No, it really doesn't. I really wish it would, but we now have a winter weather advisory for southern Wisconsin, and that goes until noon tomorrow. You can see it now encompasses all of the area because of the threat not only of some light snow, but also some freezing drizzle, which we've seen mix in over the past hour or so. I know I just drove through it on my dinner break, and it's really not that heavy, this precipitation, but it doesn't take that much when we talk about freezing drizzle or freezing rain to cause problems, to cause some slick roadways. So expect some slick spots across southern Wisconsin tonight, overnight, and into the morning commute for some of us, especially to the north and east. Live look in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. We can see this light freezing drizzle and freezing mist showing up in the picture along with the Capitol building there. Today's high only 11 degrees. We really didn't move up that much in temperature land. We started this morning at 6, so we're about 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. An alert day remains in the forecast overnight into the first half of Wednesday. For that light snow and freezing drizzle, we could be looking at some slippery roads in spots, especially those bridges and overpasses, and also the secondary or side roads that usually don't get a lot of activity or treatment in situations like this. Temperatures right now, they're plenty cold. We technically should be seeing snow with temperatures like this: 11 in Madison, 21 in Janesville, 14 in Watertown. We have some warmer air moving through our neck of the woods in the middle to upper atmosphere, and what's happening is everything starts off as snow once we get precipitation of any kind, but it's melting through that warm layer, and then there's a shallow layer of cold air right before we hit the ground. We've been dealing with that all day, and then that rain is freezing on contact to surfaces. So speaking of freezing, we'll be well below freezing as we head into this weekend. Some very cold air on the way. Another round of polar air visits southern Wisconsin. By the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, we could be talking about record or near record daily lows for the weekend, and we still are looking plenty cold as we head into next week. Overnight, snow and freezing drizzle. 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, still looking on track for much of southern Wisconsin. Temperatures staying in the low to mid-teens overnight. On future track, we see those temperatures go up a little bit as we head into Wednesday morning, with occasional snow and freezing drizzle likely in the cards. Then as we head into tomorrow, I think that activity winds down by the time we get to the afternoon hours. Highs should make it into the mid-20s, so not as cold on Wednesday. As we head into Thursday, we are off to a cold start with temperatures in the single digits, and then maybe a few more snowflakes here and there. Nothing too significant on Thursday. Next round of accumulating snow arrives Friday night into Saturday. And then for this round, still looking at 1 to 3 inches for southern Wisconsin. So here is a look at your 7 to 10 day forecast. We're looking at that cold air really staying put for this weekend into the start of next week. Temperatures could be close to 10 below on Saturday night and Sunday night. So definitely not putting away that winter gear anytime soon.
Happy March.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Well, this February night had a bit of a March feel to it. A tight finish for the Badgers at Indiana and the first round of the postseason high school boys basketball. Highlights from Lodi next in sports.
Well, we've got Prep Mania Game of the Week playoff edition tonight, taking us north of Madison to Lodi, where the Blue Devils trying to beat River Valley to earn a trip to face top seed Prairie du Chien. This game a rematch of the regular season finale last Monday, so they're pretty familiar with each other. Ball goes inside for Lodi. The big man Cole Steinhoff with 2 of his 24 points tonight. Blue Devils up by 6. Later, Quinn Faust going to Logan Richards beyond the arc. He knocks down 3. Lodi with the ball again later. Jack Persick ends up with it this time. Lodi wins 64-54. RJ Wilson with Cole Steinhoff after the game on what went right in the second half for the Blue Devils.
Lodi advances with a first-round win against River Valley, and Cole Steinhoff had a big game, the senior center, with 24 points. It was a 5-point game at halftime. Could go either way, and you guys went on a 19-7 run. What went right there early in the second half?
Our team got momentum. We really started talking and communicating and making plays for our whole team and not just ourselves.
Of course, if you're a senior, well, you got a friend here too. Hey, how you doing, bud? When you're a senior, you never know if it's going to be your last game. How important is it to keep that going?
Probably the most important thing to me right now. We just got to keep working together and keep communicating, and we can beat Prairie du Chien.
That's a big task.
Yep, we can do it.
All right, they're the #1 seed, Prairie du Chien, but look out, here comes Lodi Friday night. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Jay. Home stretch of the regular season for the Badgers. 4 games left, including tonight's matchup at Indiana. Meanwhile, the Hoosiers are having, well, we'll call it a plain old bad 2019. They've only won 2 games in this calendar year, but playing some true desperation ball tonight, giving the Badgers a battle. The Badgers were playing pretty well defensively in this game, but really struggling on offense, but only committing 7 turnovers so far in this game. Right now, they're in overtime in Bloomington at 6. They're tied at 68 apiece with about 13 seconds to go. They're in a timeout right now. Ethan Happ leading the way with 23 points. Iverson with a total of 15. Those guys are the only ones, by the way, in double digits on the Badgers right now. Meanwhile, to baseball, a few familiar faces in spring training today. Zach Davies and Chase Anderson both making appearances on the mound this afternoon against the Padres lineup that does not yet include Manny Machado. In the second inning, Manny Pena getting ball 4 here. Aaron Perez crossing home plate here thanks to the error. Brewers up 1-0. And after that, Chase Anderson shaking off some winter chill, some winter rust here, giving up home runs in both the 3rd and 4th innings. Brewers lose 3-1 the final score. We'll be right back.
On a line, Fernando Tatis Jr. hits a missile 2-run home.
Melissa's keeping an eye on the Badger game.
I am a little stressed.
She's
Okay.
watching the Badger
Stressed.
game here. Now you can continue.
Okay, thank you. A final check with Dave.
And I'm
Dave.
watching the the forecast. I'm watching the forecast. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect for southern Wisconsin for some light snow, but also some freezing drizzle that's mixed in over the past hour or so for southern Wisconsin. That could make things slick overnight. And for the commute on Wednesday, I do think that snow and freezing drizzle wraps up by about noon. Temperatures will be in the mid-20s for highs tomorrow. But then the cold weather arrives for the weekend. We have a couple more chances for some snow, some flurries and snow showers possible Thursday, then Friday night into Saturday. Some light accumulating snow is possible. That looks like another 1 to 3 inch system. And then as we get into this weekend, temperatures dipping close to 10 below at night.
Yeah, so we're still waiting to see who is going to win this game right now. We're still in overtime, about 2 seconds left, trying to figure out who has possession of the ball. Jay Wilson will have more tomorrow on News 3 Now at 6.
Have a good one.